Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to study an important chapter from your book of political science. It is chapter number 3. The title of the chapter is Electoral Politics. Let us discuss the chapter Electoral Politics. We already know what is politics, so let us study about electoral politics. It is a field where we elect our representatives by voting them. The more the votes, the more the chances to win the election. So we need to understand what is electoral politics. Electoral politics is a process in which we elect our representatives, and we all know that we live in a democratic nation. Elections are an integral part of a democracy. So what is meant by elections? Election procedure that allows members of an organization or community to choose representatives who will hold positions of authority within it. The most important elections select the members of a government at the local, state, and national level. The chance to decide who will govern at these levels serves as an opportunity for the public to make choices about the policies, programs, and future directions of government action. At the same time, elections promote accountability. Here, the meaning of the word accountability is responsibility. Due to the elections, the representatives of the people have to work in a responsible way, because if they do not work properly, the common people or the public have a right to remove them from their position with the help of elections. The threat of defeat in the polls exerts pressure on these in power to conduct themselves in a responsible manner and take account of popular interests and wishes when they make their decisions. Why elections? Why are elections necessary? Elections takes place regularly in any democracy. We know that there are more than 100 countries in the world in which elections take place to choose people's representatives. Why do we need elections? Because we know that it is necessary that a country which is very vast in nature, that country should have representatives of the people, so that the elected representatives can govern the govern the policies. The representatives of the people can carry out the functions. They can take out good policies for the betterment of the people. In an election, the voters make many choices. They can choose who will make laws for them. In a democracy or in an election, the people have a choice that who can make laws for them. They can choose who will form the government and take major decisions. They can choose the party whose policies will guide the government and law making. We know that at present in our country, at the center, the BJP and its coalition is in power. The BJP is the largest party in the country. So here, in a democracy, the people have a right which party is going to form the government. What makes election democratic? Conditions of a democratic elections. First, everyone should be able to choose. This means that everyone should have one vote, and every vote and every vote should have equal value. So it means that what makes election democratic, that all the people who are above 18 years of age, they should have a right to cast vote. Means everyone should have an opportunity to vote in the elections. That makes the elections democratic. Second, there should be something to choose from. Means there should be different parties, and the candidates of those parties should stand in an election. The people will select the candidates as per their choice. Third, the choice should be offered at regular intervals. Means elections should be held in a country after a regular gap. We all know that in our country, the elections to the Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha are held after every 5 years in our country. Fourth, the candidate preferred by the people should get elected. Fifth, elections should be conducted in a free and fair manner where people can choose as they really wish. Is it good to have political competition? Elections are thus all about political competition. This competition takes various forms. The most obvious form is the competition among political parties. At the constituency level, it takes the form of competition among several candidates. If there is no competition, elections will become pointless. We know that in a single constituency, there are members or candidates of various political parties, and the people, they have a right to select the right candidate out of them. So if there is no competition, then we can say elections will become pointless. But is it good to have political competition? Clearly, an electoral competition has many demerits. So it has certain demerits also. Political competition, it creates a sense of disunity and fractionalism in every locality. Different political parties and leaders often level allegations against one another. Sometimes dirty tricks and politics is being played. Some people say that this pressure to win electoral fights does not allow sensible long-term policies to be formulated. Some of the good people do not like to take part in the election due to this dirty politics. So these are the people get divided at the local level. So these are some of the demerits of the political competition. But is it good to have political competition? Clearly, an electoral competition has many demerits. What is our system of elections? Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha elections are held after every 5 years. After 5 years, the term of all elected representatives come to an end. We know that the term of the members of Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha is of 5 years. After 5 years, their tenure comes to an end and the new fresh elections are held in our country. Sometimes elections is held only for one constituency to fill the vacancy caused by death or resignation of a member. This is called a by-election. Electoral constituencies. In our country, we follow an area-based system of representation. The country is divided into different areas for purposes of election. These areas are called electoral constituency. If we look at our Maharashtra, so Maharashtra has 48 Lok Sabha constituencies. Maharashtra has 288 Vidhan Sabha constituencies. For Lok Sabha elections, the country is divided into 543 constituencies. The representative elected from each constituency is called a member of parliament or an MP. So the members of Lok Sabha are known as member of parliament. One of the features of democratic election is that every vote should have equal value. That is why our constitution requires that each constituency should have a roughly equal population living within it. Thanks for watching this video. We will see the remaining part of this chapter in our next video lecture. Thanks.